everybody. One of Weezy at 11:14 p.m. It is Tuesday, September 29th. I am freezing. I'm still very tired, and I tend to sleep best when I'm cold. So things may digress as we approach here. That said, I'm doing my little system here. I've got Stormblade on the portal from last night. Man, did she turn out to be awesome. But what we're going to do now, again, I know everybody's wanting to see Fiesta, and then I'm getting a bunch of requests for Dark Spitfire. What I'm doing with Spitfire and Stealth Elf, I don't have their standard versions at all. Stealth Elf is coming, it's just Toys R Us is taking an eternity to ship, and Spitfire, I don't know when I'm gonna get him. The problem I have is like the Nintendo starter packs obviously omit him. And then I come in, or I get the dark version essentially is what I'm trying to say. And then the Xbox One Dark Edition, I get the Dark Edition. So I've got Spitfires, I just don't have regular. And that's kind of a weird position to be in. But anyway, all that matters here is Dive-Clops. He's now on the portal, so let's load this thing up. And I'm crouched down like a catcher right now. For some, I think because I'm so cold actually. Which is ironic since the air conditioner was out this weekend, when it was hot. So, go figure. Once again, we spawned right there. It's interesting.
Hot streak.
I wonder if you just cut out in the level if you respawn
Look out below.
Alright. So he looks like the little minion that he is on the pool table in the game. He is slow. They're probably going to rate him at 35, and that will be being way too generous. Yeah, I don't know if it's because he just feels heavy, but I think Bowser might be quicker than that, and that's not saying much, unfortunately. So, his water element. Let's stand on the bridge. I guess. No, let's stand in the river. Live a little bit. So, anyway, he should be right at home here. I'm gonna make my way back to my creek chair. Let me actually check this email. Oh yay, it's another foreign partnership wanting to solicit me to procure money for themselves. Bravo, I'm sure it's not a generic, email either. Hello, we love your videos. We would like to make money off of you by letting you monetize video games. No thanks, I'll just play for fun. So, anyway, oh cool! I caught that. I was looking at the spreadsheet. We got to catch his idle animation again. I don't know if that innocently opened or. Okay, so he's got kind of like the charging chuck stomp thing going. That's pretty clever. They kind of he's trying to show off the gun or something. And then the hatch comes open as he kind of tilts back, so the retina sort of follows around. So pretty cool stuff there. Let me get Deep Dive Gilgrunt off the book there. He's coming up next. But anyway, let's jump in here.
Off the charts.
Don't know what he said. I couldn't hear over the headset, but he kind of seems to sound echoish. But I guess that makes sense given his pairings. Okay, right here. Now I don't know about you, but I'm starting to find the vehicle in the background annoying for things like this. You apparently have to have the vehicle on the portal. At least anytime I don't, it's freaking out and it doesn't let me progress. So I understand that, and I realize it's okay, so this is my team, that's cool. And I agree with that. That would be interesting if I was racing. But if I'm just here, I don't know. I guess it's good. I wouldn't want to have to put the vehicle on, but I wish if I was on the Skylander, the vehicle was less prominent. Type of a thing. Yeah, I don't know. You probably know what I'm trying to say. So, anyway, let's come in here to water element on the spreadsheet. So, interesting thing, we've got both Earth characters. We have got both air characters. Well, technically, we don't have standard, but you can obtain a version of Jet, or each of those, can be obtained essentially. So, no magic though. That's kind of interesting. Nonetheless, we do have both water, though. That's the solo point I was trying to make. Again, I'm tired. Speed 35, no. Again, like I said, there's some characters rated 35 that seem quicker, and there's some at 35 that seem slower. This guy is going to stay on the bottom side of that equation. So, max health, though, 250. I thought he'd kind of have high health. He's like a little chunky dude. And he looks to be plated pretty well, but we'll see how he plays out. Speed 35, not a strong. Ooh, armor. I'll take that. He is plated well, so he now is tied for the best armor in the game that we've logged thus far. There could be people better, but Bowser and Dark Bowser both weighed in at 30, as does this dude. So that's +6 over high volt. That's impressive. Critical hit 4. No one's critical hit is high. I still don't think critical hit matters a whole lot. Unless it's like astronomically increased or something. So elemental power 25, that'll be 32 when we get DDGG in there. So let's save that spreadsheet and meander our way to the attack damage one. And oh wow, I didn't make him, so we're gonna have to wing that a little bit. I've at least got the water element header, so we'll just type some numbers in and go from there. Alright, speaking of that, while you enjoy this, I can still turn him, okay. So, I really like again, I pointed this out when I unboxed him, but he looks plated. He's kind of got like the patina you would expect on like a Navy ship or a submarine or something. And again, just his heavy set, build and the armoring, it kind of plays into that. But the torpedo, I don't know what you would describe that as, like the torpedo gun, I guess. The way its accuracy is, I mean, that's pretty sweet. It's got the scope. It's just a nice setup. And again, if you were like looking at a shipyard, they brought something in for repair, this is kind of like what you see, where the seams are and everything. So, cool deal there. But I'll try to spin him around while I read his background story. Pretty interesting. His slogan, if you missed it, look out below. Believe it or not, Dive-Clops isn't at home. No, he's the twin brother of Eyebrow. When he was young, his bat wings were blasted off by pirates. I want to battle these pirates, We need to go back to pirate seas with Jess LeGrand, who I still think, she has been I believe, actually all the SSA adventure packs were pretty good still. But Jess LeGrand, I am surprised no one has brought her back into the mix. I kind of liked her better than Callie, but again, we're subverting now into a point where like the number or percentage of you that know what I'm talking about or care has dropped into the single digits, possibly behind a decimal point. But for those of you super into Skylanders, will be like, hey, I kind of agree with it. Anyway, when he was young, his bat wings were blasted off by pirates while flying over the swirling sea. So kind of a cool deal. He had the bat wings like Eyebrow. Pirates shot him down, essentially, causing him to plunge into the abyss below. After rolling on the bottom for several, which that totally makes sense. I mean, if you lose your wings, that's what you're going to do, right? He was discovered by an underwater civilization of jelly dwarves. They were instantly fascinated by the bizarre-looking eyeball and took him back to their coral castle, where they built him a magnificent dive suit that would allow him to explore the depths of the sea. But everything changed when Dive-Clops decided to venture to the mysterious whirlpool of destiny deep within the ocean. As he got closer, he suddenly felt pulled by its immense power and re-emerged to discover that thousands of years had passed. Now, with his destiny before him as a member of the Skylanders, Dive-Clops lets the minions of chaos know that there are many dangers of the deep. So, my biggest issue with that story is, like, where was Eyebrow when this happened? Like, I realize maybe, your brother's out, on the ocean and you're, I don't know, like, skateboarding, so I don't know what eyeballs do. But basically, like, did anyone ever go looking for him? Like, were they aware of, I assume, like, someone in the area would have been like, oh, geez, there's pirates off the coast, they're attacking things. So that's kind of like an open end that's just like, readily, available for speculation. Something that was brought up, Portal Master Mom, she had the question, I think it was last night actually, like, is Dive-Clops the size of Eyebrow or shorter? And I was like, he better be shorter because Eyebrow was a giant. She put both on the portal at the same time with her daughter, and indeed that is the case. So rest assured, we've at least got that going. And the other thing I'm curious about, thousands of years had passed, so like, what's up? Did Eyebrow, like, I mean, can they be together at the same time? Is he dead? Do eyeballs just batwing around for your century? I don't know. So it's a good bio. It's interesting. It makes sense. But there's like just that little like brotherly aspect that's just, what? You know, like, I would hope that, you know, if you got a brother or sister and they, like, disappear, that, I mean, maybe Eyebrow was looking for him, you know, who knows, but it's not mentioned. It's kind of like, you know, it's something to think about. But that said, we're spending a ton of time on this stuff, so let's move on, shall we? Alright, upgrades. What we've got first is the Water Pedo. Press X to shoot a Water Pedo that creates a mine. Really? Creates a mine. That's pretty cool. That damages enemies close to it and explodes when hit with sonar. I would venture to guess, based from that description and the next picture, that we have sonar, and we do. Alright, so sonar. Press B to create a sonar ping that damages enemies around you and causes Water Pedo mines to explode. You know what would be cool is if sonar would, like, hone it, you know, like chomp chest type deal? That would be a pretty nice addition there. For all we know, it may have it. I don't know. That said, these next four are base upgrades. They register in at 500, 700, 900, 1200. Is that correct? Sounds correct. We'll roll with that. It looks like we get his tertiary attack up first. Put the eye in Geyser. Press Y to unleash a I'm going to use that all the time. I don't care if it's pointless, it's cool. Press Y to unleash a geyser that pushes enemies back. Press Y again to end the geyser. Next up, we got Echo Enhancers. Increase the range and damage of sonar. Okay. What's going to be cool about that is it looks to be like a complete radial, which as it should be, but it almost looks like it's going to go out, you know, concentrically. It's not going to be like a scanning type thing where, you know, it will cover 360 degrees, but only, you know, like 10 at a time per sweep, you know, type of thing. It looks like it's just going to radiate from him, and that'll be good, because then you can get people beside you, behind you, in front of you. It's whatever. After that, we've got Power of the Pupil. While using your geyser, press X or B to perform special attacks. Neither outlined, so we don't know really what to think until we get that. And right here we've got Ping. Hold B and release to shoot existing water pedos and mines upon the targeted enemies or location. How would you have existing water pedos, I wonder? If that ties in here, I don't know. We'll have to find out. So, two paths. It looks like the first one is Tidal Torpedo's path. Use Lost Deep Sea technology to increase the power of Water Pedo. So, we've got Torpuslow, I guess we could call that. Press X to fire water torpedoes that create mines which slow the movement of enemies close to the mine. Again, this is why it's a big deal to have the Greeble dispenser. Next up, we've got Mark II Water Pedo. Water pedos and water pedo mines do more damage. Mind your step. You see what they did there? I'm tired and I can't laugh at it, but it's the same type of stuff I do, so I do appreciate it. And last day we've got Nito Water Pedo. Every other water pedo is a super water. Okay, I like stuff like this. So you're gonna fire off a green one that, you know, does 20 damage, then boom, red 40. Next green, next red. So essentially it's kind of like those ones, every other hit is a critical hit type deal. Now that is measurable and appreciable, whereas this is the same way. You know, you're going to do whatever with this one, and then if it's, you know, 12 to 18, you're going to do 18 every other time guaranteed. The next standard shot might be critical at 18, and then you're going to do a critical every, you know, so it'll play out pretty nicely, I think. That said, coming in, the next path I think would be the Dowsing Dowser or Dosing Dowser? Dowsing? I think it's Dowsing Dowser, so I would say that. Not sure actually, but I'm tired, so we'll blame it on that. Learn more powerful sonar abilities to defeat large groups of enemies. Alright, so we got Sonar Smarts. Enemies hit with sonar take more damage from water pedos for a short time. Up next is Countermeasures. Automatically send out a small sonar pulse when hit. Okay, so that's kind of like an auto defense mechanism basically. So if a Greeble were to hit us, then we go to, it's just automatically deployed. You could be AFK and think you're safe. Greebles or Chompies show up and snip at you and you might kill them, you know? So kind of a nice touch. And lastly, Hatch Off to You. Geyser does more damage and can be used longer. Tear it up. So that's an interesting path, but again, we'll probably have to base this off his base upgrades because I simply we don't have a good feel for him yet. So, Soul Gem we get with either path. It is called Depth of Field. Hold X and release to shoot a huge cluster of water pedo mines. If you couldn't see mines, you will now. Right. So, anyway, let's hop out of here and let's get some damage numbers here. Again, I didn't set this up. Let me try to at least get in the right position. So I'll go over to Smash Hit because we haven't introduced anyone else. Base Attack Slot 1. Oh yeah, for anyone scoring at home on the spreadsheet, I'm currently in cell column AF, and row 6 is where we're going to type this in. So, just if anyone cares, which I'm sure no one does. Primary attack, though, we're going to fire off the water pedo. Let's take a look at this thing. Oh, it's got a nice arc to it. It reminds me of a Super Soaker. Okay, so... Oh, if you don't sonar it, I guess it... Now, I don't know, like, if an enemy comes, will it just detonate? We'll find out in a little bit, I guess. Let's count and see how much of a timer we've got on this. 8 to 9 seconds or so. So let me count that again. I guess would be a smart thing to do. I'm gonna go with 9 seconds, and then I am including the time it takes to launch it. But I mean, you'd kind of want to do that for your baseline anyway. So now, can we have more than one active? The answer appears to be 3 from this, but there's not really a good area. Okay, that actually worked out nice. Man, if I could just get these things to go where we need them to. Is it 3? I'm thinking it's 3, but it might also just be their timing out by the time we do that. Huh. 1, 2, we have 4 going now. So, I'm not sure how many we can have actually, because there's just not ample space here. Maybe on the Greebles we can figure it out, but it looked like it did 22 on impact, and I think I was seeing 8s over there, so let's direct shot. So 11 instances of damage after the 22. So that might be a better way of scoring it. Let's do it again. Alright, I am good with that. That's what we'll do. 9-second lifespan. And then 22 critical should be 33. With 8 critical it should be 12. X 11 times. Now, if we use sonar, let's do that first. Let's see what we're going to register there. God, this guy's slow. He needs a vehicle. You know, that would be nice. Oh, wow. Good range on that already. So 17, half of that would be 8.5. So if they round up, it should be 26. Let's just go ahead and do 17 to 26. Let's back out now and try to get a better feel for the radius. It's like, well, that's a pretty good radius there. It's kind of time critical. Didn't make it that time. Okay, so about right here is your sweet spot. So that's pretty good. Now, the question is, can we shoot from that far? Yes. Now watch this. Oh, nice. Okay, so all we have to do now is figure out what these things are exploding at. I don't know. It's so hard to see these numbers. That was a 33. Is it 17 or 16? It's gonna be the 16, right? That would make the most sense. Yeah, okay, since sonar 1726, mines will be 16 to 24. So we got the numbers pretty good. The only thing I'm not sure of is like how many we can have on the screen at the same time right now. And that's just simply due to like space limitation. Basically the edge is too close. That's what I'm trying to say. Check this out. We'll sonar. Oh yeah. I like that sort of delayed reaction, you know. It's like, oh no, we're about to die. You know, all we had to go on was sonar. And then the enemy is about to swing and dead. Delayed reaction. Alright, so let's try to see if we can stand here and get a feel for how many water. There's 3, 4. Okay, I think it might be 4. Although that could have timed out. Let's go ahead and get that going. So, clean slate again. Let me stand over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be 5, or it might be more than that. I don't really know. I don't guess it's like that critically important to you. There's not space for me to do it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roughly 5, I'll just say. You know, because about that time, they're going to time out the first cycle anyway. Roughly 5 miles with... This is a huge thing to fit into the spreadsheet. Anyway, I guess let's get a Greeble out here. And we'll start by just trying to water pedo them. Oh nice, the mines stay. Huh. We're only going to primary attack. So there does seem to be a limit on these though, for what it's worth. But that was primary only, let's do secondary only. So sonar might take a little while to kill this guy. But note, it does knock him back just enough to keep us from getting hit by that ever painful toy mallet. Which, I mean, that's a good thing. That's the difference between living and dying in that one. So, might seem insignificant, but it's important. And you can literally kill people with your sonar attack if you want to, but it's best used as a pairing. Like this. We're going to send a few mines out and then... Alright, so again, he's obviously somebody that works best in tandem. Primary and secondary, use both. If you've got the water pedos going and you've got mines on the field, use sonar. Sonar will inflict damage, and most importantly, sonar is going to come in and it is going to detonate any mines for more damage. So, there's 3 of them. Well, it timed out. Okay. I don't know. You can see it, and it's just as difficult to showcase it. The torpedoes, though, 22 to 33. I think I got that in there. Yeah. Okay, so I'll clean that up somehow whenever we do our research with him. But my apologies for rambling on in this. Again, I just kind of do this for fun, introduce you to the character. Hopefully you enjoy it, you can relate to it. That's it. If you did like the video, feel free to leave a like. You can follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. If you like this type of stuff, if you get into the lore of the Skylanders and the statistical side of things, I encourage you to check out the Skylander Club forum, SkylanderClub.com. If you like what you see there, sign up. We'd love to have you. We got lots of poll battles going. Might even do a brother battle. How about that? Dive-Clops versus Eyebrow. Who do you prefer and why? So we might roll that direction. That said, haven't created that one yet. I'll try to remember to do it tonight when these videos are rendering and uploading and all that good stuff. Up next, I guess intro number 12, well, I guess will be Deep Dive Gilgrunts. So there's just about 12 Gilgrunts available to you in the game, it seems. But we'll go ahead, we'll get that taken care of. I've heard nothing but good things about him. Even people are like, ah, Gilgrunt, no. I've been like, you know what, he's good. He's actually really good. So I'm excited. I never really had anything against him. I just kind of, I prefer other characters, and then mainly I'm with everyone else. It's just like he's been there so many times. Like, I wouldn't mind a legendary Gilgrunt, but when you get like serious fight, it's kind of like, oh man. So, again, totally reimagined. We'll give him a shot, and I'm very optimistic. It's a cool pose, so we got that going for him already. But that said, this was Dive-Clops. Again, his vehicle is the Dive Bomb. We'll try to get that thing introduced pretty soon, focusing on the Skylanders first. So once again, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more Skylanders introductions, check back, subscribe, and I will catch you back here for checking out everyone's favorite guild.